me Eddie and Komo and Sembebrina na Enra Okaye in that budget presentation to Parliament. Na yensu yebehwe na de wose yebusa monsumu feedback amode abreye no yetumi Eddie amano na afei nchiremu e ho no watimi achirechire mama enti se wutie wa Sempa FM so a enne ye wo finance minister office ewo nkran haya na yehwene no Eddie and Komo enti mensan bre no mema na kwa aba na afei ye Komo no ahihye so meda production team no so ase for putting this together. Dominic Isiyeboa, Nana Chumberema, Kwadade Yurenchi, Jackson Ntiamoa, DJ Yeyo, Eric Opare, and the rest of the technical team ayina yewaha Eddie Jumedi Ebremo. In the Honorable Finance Minister Ewahedi Memana Akwaba. Honorable Akwaba na pum te saying.
Onyame adom that's a yara.
Bibi aboko.
Oh you.
Ahode oho.
I wouldn't appear. You be here for 2020 rebate.
Mami share Enra ultimate present a budget no for 2020 to Parliament. In some movie na more means be a modern feedback from the public on presentation away, you know. So far feedback away you know at the same.
Because a chroma ye comb kakra. I just nipa ni jese omano senia Nana Akufo-Addo ibuno ekwampaso na wafa odere na otimi hu enoma wetimi aye 3 years here unim se obia the pledges and the promises no wetimi ama bana ye most of it na happens so hwe ade decisions mwe dra utimi ye ya utimi hu se oman ye behia onipa owa kokrodro ni courage na wetimi aye because se oba na be hu senia no matie ye started January 2017 and sikani hono na still ni courage say ye senior high school programming and of course yeah and now we have banking sector and so na honso Sempa ho enso somu na wenjani en free ho energy sector enso opese ye renegotiate enso wo ho PDS assembly so mu in onwa ye fee or can say ye be fi IMF program no or wetimi ama ye fi mu na afi de ode mraba parliament say the GD say deficit no could beyond 5% ye be sanction na intifa kwa ye ko idie minim se obi wo krom ha wo kokredu te se no na no ne be hia 2020 and afterwards nuntina ye can say one good term deserves another.
One good term deserves another. And I just say for more as a buy no when we say mo first 4 years you know my year adwuma wo say Ghana for science mo so bio
no dear me make kind no my no me braye if say yen wi mpo enso ye do 94 nti e become
94 achievement
pacho you happy wo say I nyese just ye wie anase ya ye bibia in a perfect way but near ye be to ye no ye start ya Sempa budget ye kan ho asem say obeka say ne wo hwa ne ade fish me no ne brodo enum no obeka say 12 basketfuls no afterwards no everybody into kakra so mu no na wetimi using a year after the ultimate hu achievements now obeka say we di onyame yeshra so no nyame na yedana se
enra ya confirm interview in a minya botre e go through budget no kakra na say me hwe page 78.392 line 4 ne ka say a vision of using Ghana's resources more efficiently to build a wealthy, inclusive, sustainable, empowered and robust Ghana. You say okay so can be say
one can resilient or can robust
yeah robust robust na waha
okay
yeah robust na waha a robust Ghana. Now again share appendix now there is this figure 13 resource allocation for 2020 a case arrears and we in Arrears here 1.443 billion. That's your resource allocation for 2020. Other expenditure, it was 2.64 billion, 647 billion. Capital expenditure 9.260 billion. Your social benefit, it was 150. Yeah, that's 150 million. Your grant and other government units, 15 billion. Subsidies, 229. Interest payment, 21 billion. Your goods and services, 8.331 billion. Compensation of employees, 26 billion. Babe 565 eguso. Total expenditure, including arrears, no, from this document, no, 85 billion 952. So, me share the vision and me di kan you know. Now me compare to a first question, I me put it down and it said, how do you justify you use 70% of your resources to pay interest on debt, grants, and compensations, not to mention 8.3 billion on goods and services? That's a spend 9.2 billion on capital expenditure. I don't know a critical catalyst for growth in any economy. How would you justify vis-a-vis vision and medical kind?
Actually, many just so to me read the numbers. Na you share your friends saying compensation as someone who came. Say 26 billion a dosopa, which may be north of 35% of our revenues. Inti sebe menso at least yen nyina nim say enye se sika dodo bia na yetua yen civil servants yi. Inti the question enye say 26 billion na revenue SSC increase ne basani be betimi atua because uti obi 400 700 cedis a month enye bibia opese otwa so and a senior private sector no so pick up no and yes over better stretch a civil service no way you nipa kofie into those are the problems that you have come to meet and your challenge no say afedie then ye de GRA be na woni men so yetua yen taxes say properties near there but ye hwe omani nyina ne fa kon ye dun so a you do baby your savings no any investments here no a gap no doors into a burden na stabilize your economy send your beya GIPC fund so you the inward investment FDI bebum send your be create jobs and you create ourselves as a regional hub for that into who base na ya na say agriculture do you know because we are getting more of it into the agribusiness issues will come in to do that. Right now the ratios don't make sense, but the clarity and the first clarity President Akufo-Addo's insistence about building our human capital because Singapore no more nipa and yes one resources be Intimi building and human capital and as a senior high school TVET programs near there. Say no my year came but there has to be a transition period in which we make sure there is social protection for a lot of people.
Yeah, share broad issues now budget ne cover back on debt to GDP. And from figures now okay interest payment on loans and that's by 21 billion and
figures they ampo you buy you share for one years a dear crampo you divide into 5 buckets. Revenues, how do we tackle it? Expenditures, how do we manage that or get value for money? Then look at your debt to GDP issue. How do you manage your debt? Because that's where the interest costs are. Then we're doing a lot of payments on the statutory area.
Okay.
And yetimi kapu yes and yebema physical space kakra na yenya. And then of course wages and compensation. So those were clearly the 5 buckets that we needed to address one after the other. So they are not new problems. At the same time, non so who says we now rationalize, and then you realize you had an energy crisis, and then you also had a financial sector crisis. So you had to tackle all of those. Into share just a sikaduro betu any problems that you na ene yitimi ha macro stability abemu kakra no a at least we are building the platform to be able to resolve these issues. But the quirks are what we have inherited, and that's the reason why President can say I'm not here to complain, I'm here to tackle them. But you can't really solve all of them at the same time. But I think we are in a much better place since the war 3 years ago, and I'm a lot more confident that we will move at a faster pace than we've started.
Question where your question here tie back up. Yenya William Yemfa Emusa we aka say so new strategy are adopted, especially in how some state institutions borrow on their books. Of course, on paper, no contingent liability on the state, but say compute your debt now. And the criticism they said to make your debt to GDP look good, yemfasa nyoma enka ho. Ebia raise for example, sika ya say on the financial sector cleanup.
Say sika.
Sika ya UC, and I think that should be the right way. Thank you. Sika ya UC on the financial sector cleanup. And Raukoti opegina 13 billion Ghana cedis. Or the Cocoa Board syndicated loans, GAT, DNA, the Ekahua. All those things they factor into computation for your national debt. And debt to GDP now be looking good on paper. But when you factor all these into, because in a contingent liability is still on the state, your factor figures to be looking different. Okay,
oh, so no dear. I mean, Sabi. I mean, me co-banker. Maybe I'm about school or America. Yes. Or also loan into ABO because a contingent liability on me. But it's a whole issue. So we can begin, how to leverage our resources, to the best of our ability. So what do you do? Say as I say, Kofi Ofori-Atta school. Now say your friend saying, me was kebi wahanti me from insanka non-trefia na. I think the human capital issue, it should be so clear. But then, so even the we use or other state enterprises use, they should be able, to be paid back before we approve or agree on anything. And it's not a whole lot of entities that we are enabling them to do that. We've really cut back because of the PFM Act. You can't even say Obekonawa or sign BB without us knowing. To be there, financial sector issue is Sebe. You buy and you're being inherited. To be other side no sunim say adia wonja yeni. Intinka yenja 4 million deposits in lose na adia no so and yes sir would the CEO because me am debt to GVC ratios. I also note and disclose say made the 12 billion akoye we and na made when so energy and BB identity analysts no who exactly what it is, but those are extraordinary events. I think it's it's up to us to decide on how to manage that. When you BB your DC, your true say this is not included, but this is the amount. This is not included, but this is the amount.
Okay, BB say focus not probably, and what's your share expenditure not too much. You how we meet me raising revenues.
No. And you see expenditure. Now me can say on the wages and remuneration front, heading say we share. Labor nim now say where they will see cannot doors because he cannot doors. except say in revenue, but expenditures on other items, and value for money, those, we have to be very, very vigilant on, and the things we don't have to spend on, we shouldn't.
We shouldn't. Internet, share raising revenue. I think the budget was heavy on strategies, debate raising revenue, mobilizing domestic resources, and but going through the budget, again, apart from say, say, mobile a broadened tax net, the focus now will not be on introducing new taxes. Man, said that I'm wrong. Clear-cut, practical strategy there to broaden the tax net. Because if you go through 2017 budget, 2018 budget, 2019, hint on the fact that he has a broaden tax net and all of that. And then is so difficult achieving Saudi. That in the end to me, broaden tax net.
That's what we say. Anyway, for what you're doing is what you say here, you change the top 4 executives or GRA.
Okay.
India no will give me an indication say Abia no man koye papa, but new team now no Profade as chairman. Amisha Dai, Julian, Damwano. We feel we are getting a better handle on the direction in which we want to go, and which is, GRA normal first digitization.
Yes.
How do we get technology in place? Into right now, Krampo, yani companies be negotiated and see manufacturing plans for tablets and smartphones.
Tablet and smartphones.
Okay. Smartphones will be much cheaper. There will be various apps on it. Makes it easy for everybody to pay their taxes. So that's one. GRA laws, we are strengthening it so that their prosecutorial ability will be enhanced. And also, then the whole VAT, now we are getting a special deputy commissioner for VAT, so that he can focus on that aspect of it. So those are some of the key issues. But in the end, it's all about people. Government, resources but a different management, creates different results. And my expectation is that 2020 there will be a lot more vigilance. I have a great faith in the new team that we have, and we should be able to do. There are also areas to say tax exemptions in DSS because and also baby and
one point I've heard say a document currently is being put together. It be a cabinet approved, a parliament for parliament to look at it. How mobile reviews our tax exemptions regime. So what figures now you lose because of tax exemption? It's mind-boggling because I'm sure say Obia Ghana near war Makola Obi or war Abuse Okai when Triana tax how a GRA for and multinational companies, big companies, big money businesses. Enough tax exemptions. It's been 3 years practically. You want me to say, "I did how?" Said but practically, then why to take out.
Actually, there are a number of things because the more investments that come in. Then there's a reciprocal, deduction in exemptions for certain things. Japan Mao granta, one do no they want tax exemption, and then when you get these loans, which are bringing certain equipment in. You also get into the more you get these type of investment coming in, naturally it goes up. But whether really it is fit for purpose for where we are going is what we are. Is the philosophy of it that we have to truly examine, because sometimes we share normal foreign investors. Sometimes who listen now because the tax exemption was here into why we continuing to give it into that examination. I think we've done one round of looking through this whole tax exemptions policy, and we hope that next year we will really clear it of the scene.
Yeah. Okay, one other area, my name say Modimonia Kohwa, because last time now me share presentation be a Kelly GVG a year, you know, more share mobile money transactions in our country, and in excess of about 21 billion in terms of transactions on mobile money platform. We are not taxing that, adding here.
Okay, and you can say what they send me 100 CDs open me tax over. Can I be paying your policy? Let's not make it remote, you know.
It is a sendeo 100 Ghana. You see, I mean, him say you were 10 CDs be a metria. It was that I think 1% of the Osendi be a utria. Indeed, that's a better from all end, and as a nipana or kwaku cannot end. Indeed, those deductions are done.
The telco for an enya.
Absolutely. But as can telcos no enya. Tax also. Is it tax?
In the honey opposite.
Good.
In the mobile money say what would do sikano, and we at the start here no, and you be say mu to say because sometimes no. BB started business, no? And it was to give a chance for it to become a standard way in which people transact, and then maybe you move on to taxing. But I think right now, no dear, it was a dear atintim in TSS here. Na yetimi share what we can do with that. But next year actually is a year we are going to look at our whole tax infrastructure to re-examine because budget to budget it's a little disjointed. Into next year the whole framework, you know, we make it easy for you to pay. It makes sense. And when we also begin to look at the next 10-15 years, we can actually determine the amount of FDI that is coming in and the private sector's involvement and leadership. And so we should be able to frame, you know, a new tax structure that really recognizes where we are going for the next 10-15 years. And I think that will be more effective. I think so because I feel you'll be a tax on 170 and if I near Basso, actually, we'll be to our dams, meet you, dear. To say baby to say property taxes, say for a boni. Now, 2,000 CDs a year. I am fata. Hopefully, digitization because it me a new year, not just a local government for no. Sika woha umbeti mi ado coin on and says Mahama Konoko do baby. Yeah, I bet do ya dear. Na ya pray and gata na security niade. Indian pressure.
Just on a lighter note. Former president took that initiative, say Kodo, because assemblies no. Is it say resources assemblies ni here to do that no money? And being a former president, he thought there was also a step in Ebeboboa.
I am in time to end this for us, Papa, intimate question.
Okay, as a political party.
As a normal 1 year, no, because normal you bet 2 years, no. Osha adding that to say you share and take or pay energy, new contracts, you're signing, say invariably it means that we had an emergency situation. In an emergency, no years after there were 5,000 megawatts of transactions. I assign it. So we answer, yes, signing part. Near we are signing take or pay. Not just a no. It's a semi-tier somewhere between $600 to $1 billion a year for capacity charges.
$1 billion a year.
Yeah, capacity charge I mean using. And sometimes, no, difficult. I would to office now dream who now share papers. We say, hey, and where she papa brilliant
energy aspect here baby because the criticism has been says okay power ne wo use and the capacity charges. There are ways you beat me a use, and through that aspect growth into even access to electricity, into taking rural electrification across Ghana, and year on year more less than 1% in terms of new access, and at the NDC. Now, according to Energy Commission, no more 5% year on year in terms of access. In this, most maybe me double up, invest in access. Use for some power.
My uncle year because so we be our dear, sometimes and as difficult. But you do buy what 86%.
Yeah, around 86%. Yes.
And typically, the last 15% to the most inaccessible areas and the return on investment. Into account, it's easy to say, but sebi adie me mefua ewo adie ewo chebi, for example. Now must spend 10,000 CDs to take a line there. The productivity is really low. So when do you do it? And it's not like it's the only thing you are balancing the needs. But truly that 15% extra is nowhere near giving you the $1 billion that you want. It may be in about 10-15 years. But what is really needed, say, you better find the resources, you better transmission, now you evacuate power to the neighboring countries. And then we are doing some. And yes, Great Co and Netco are doing some work. We have to do some more of that.
Back to the what can say next year focus will be on restructuring
in tax system
in the country. And we did say we'll be here on man for some more in that direction. Say we'll be you on yem na almost on tax. The thing has been for a lot of Ghanaians, they say, okay, you have to work high, then I have to work. I buy a day at one a year.
So, not the, Sabi, Oko Bible more, yes, honor your parents. One can say, your parent, papa, now, so your money, or say, what is your responsibility? And Jesus, and so can I say, I did. Taxes to who taxes is due. So there's a fundamental need as a citizen to respond to your responsibility. But I feel Sika said be a better year or I am better. Not 3.5 years near President Kufuor I year with regard to Sebi doing so.
Yes.
A conform. And I say Niho. And now school feeding. Now school feeding. Na senior high education, obia nya bibi kakra, cocoa farmers ya increase into ka na insiso papa na afenso ye nyina dream vision na ye wo ene ade bu aye de ma ye ho a wonim se dwuma e wo no ayesese ye no edoso inte bibi esese ye nyina bishia na ye na say old reason say me dey me nya ahwe no dey me nya sure ebia woni bampo a na ebia wo sika kakra after the January obi am bisa o say mam sika me kwenko enti no so ye sika wo keep. But I think there's a need for a new consciousness. Me can say enra budget no me can small poem be from Elsie Jensen, 12-year-old be all kind about the nobility of Ghana and a great country and where we are going to go. Into what happens, say, yetimete mo free. Now one doy my now video you do 30 as you now man or mammy intimate. What goes wrong? And now when you say ya to one year beside sebi a beer and yes and yepe, but after the ultimate who say ye co baby. Baby, yeah, papa, into Yenso, then you beat me a year. And my responsibility is to sort of try and do more and give more. But I think every citizen, somehow should ask themselves, na me kro my mpo didia na me didim then na me dey ma.
Then I mean so many
you into work as a honey do.
Okay, and run okay through more social interventions, no sika mo dey go Ghana for Boto. And for free senior high school through fertilizers abodiama planting for food and jobs. And na meet Vox Pop be a in town. And people were like, okay, yes, I know are buying through Saudi way the Sikegu and Boto. But I say o de wonsa nifa ede maye. Na onsa bonkom so odeje and among for me yes among for me one cited in recent times increment kakra by in fuel prices in recent times communication service tax are akosro and they believe say and no more neoma they use regularly in the through that no sika no more sign aje and then I'll be catch us afọ
ade se pa se your friends say asempa budget no ze okay na be 15 or 17 task ness ya abolish ye ebi an ni pe refika kra enti eno so wo ho na fins wo hwe sebe tax to GDP ratio yeah, be 12.5 or 6% na. In peer countries, do be 20%. In just as a untia, and I mean so mintia. Yes. Inti onipa untia tax no. Now if you complain say me the bibia beka ho. Rather no kind normal or mano ayama wa. Endoso. It is no crack crabum. Na you face responsibilities no pa kwa yeko because on Monday as I say a taxi near to me sika ye de be adwuma no na o can say ade petrol prices are cost internationally and I would to bia na pe wo blame me or my then also because what share that say on tiase but when you say bibia say petrol price cost yen near yetimi sport no it's almost about 1 to 7 into kakra. But because of the amount we use, it's sevenfold. Now how much can government into yenyi sikano in free health and as education na and we all have to sacrifice to get there. But o share a normal yakaya noa. It says o say ade edins won ye bi na won ye bi no so enye se won de sika no ma esikafo normal won ye no affects everybody so there's inclusiveness into hono na me de enka me da na Akufo-Addo asese right from the beginning he was clear say senior dan kwakwan no nyina ya dehye into ya dehye de esese obi akosku na okosku na pe wetimi aye ne ape indian sacrifice ne enye no into say wo ka say ma tax umpo a medisika no unifa kwa unin ade a medisika ne Ghana
and no na ebiaka I think your record to have said relative to free senior high school say anke bia mo science we take a second look ehwe proper targeting still who hold you on to that idea and answer assessment?
No, there are just assessment, but there are two things to it. There is first the country's responsibility to the child.
Yes.
We don't forget about whether any paposika or no nisika. So that's the first and primary thing that one has to make sure. Say akolano beko school. A secondary issue is then now to move to the morality and the capacity of it, and that can take its time to come to a realization, as to how to do that. But in no way should that compromise, because the child has a right as a citizen, and that's what we want to cure. If you say, oh, as I can grandpa, say pa, say ofa na de nukosi achimota, umfa kaprenko, adonatra kamuna po. No, so in fact, in the as a country, no, yen share yen na yen kasa na enhu say we dear yes say ye boa ye be boa. How do we do it? If you also corporates can also adopt, schools. So there are various mechanisms that we can do when you are able to mobilize the society to appreciate, what it is we want to do for ourselves and how best to finance it.
And you would argue, say, young Kosonya said, I say, Obia in your free senior high school.
Oh, but the right of the child is a preeminent thing. It's you me out of wedlock na me mami and a tiho na onumpo de no teacher inti ebia me so tua mpo or me call into class one am one class what chebi wahu inti na enka your program bi na say onukra mpo obeka se ne papa okoko farm inti obetimi atua inti wentua inti kan Ofori-Atta in Koskua. And then come into her. Into that we can't lose focus on that. Then we get into efficiency, and then we begin to ask, what it is. It could be that we can give some tax breaks. It could something, to do it. But I think at some point in time, all of that are things that you examine as a society grows and you get a steady state. So or a opportunity.
What now say? Account be say or more interested to want to help. Uncle Muntria and Gumemua Free Senior High School.
But I think we have to develop that, and build really a national consensus, because I think once people appreciate it, it will do. But those are some of the things with regards to the whole tax restructuring, and those will be elements, charity bill for churches, and also BEM, all of that. It's an exciting country, for Yabano. And a president so say he's in a hurry. Inti Jumana dear whole, but within these 3 years now, there's a lot more we can do to go to where we want to go to.
And okay, I know what's in the budget. New man will be to me to get to where and a honor launch here into the focus for 2020 infrastructure. What can say a year of roads. Traveling through Ghana with the president, the state of infrastructure. Over the past 3 years, the argument has been said, I was incrementally, at least, investment into, capex, and can cost na a form dodo. This last year, no, as a move pushing up. And no against the fact that most still must stay within 5% fiscal. How do you marry the two?
I think I mean, 3 years of experience. Me share your budget and our revenue flow. As I say, you share your finance infrastructure in a very different way, so that it's a sustained way of doing it. And road fund idea no because I know the ultimate who taxes a coma to be able to maintain, etc., etc. But I think most major roads, are going to require volumes of resources beyond what the budgets can. And we've started a lot of discussions with some infrastructure funds around the world. And I identify, in Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund and also. Yen to almost the tune of $1 billion. Send a bayer want to bet me so say no manum. And then a more efficient use of cocoa boards and road projects. So that goes on. Last week near launch accelerated community road investment program, which is a government army. Army, the 48 engineers. In Tijuana Crampo, Namen so to was she Honum within 1 day they'd been able to make the road passable, 4 kilometers of it.
Oh.
Into
Specifically, pothole patch and pothole patch.
They are clearing the road and making it passable, etc. And I think it's going to be a very effective strategy so that the roads do not really deteriorate as much as they can. But it was quite impressive, say within 24 hours, they had done a 4-kilometer stretch, to make it level, flat. And you could see the excitement as being palpable. And you can see government getting to the needs of the people. Once that is so to maybe a Dansoman, but we're identifying all sorts of places around the country that require that. And then we encourage that. So that it's a period in which once again, you are using all of your resources. The army is there, they have expertise for bridges and roads. You bring them in, private sector also, that's their own. You also bring in outward investment to support some toll roads and bridges, etc. India, I think we are getting more and more scientific in the way it is. But, and we say, I don't know much into a school and as a health and as a road. Into we share nice balancing, but all in all, no, we share be a nyakakra. As I say, so you need enough idea. You continue.
It may be channel na a day this narrative about say in public debt. FE 122 ababe 208 as of now billion. And you've heard your opponent constantly ask, say, what do you have to show for such jump in debt?
A question I won't be, sir, me more than be, sir, say, into road contracts arrears appear, then I'm at least you put there, what to me who exactly what interest payments we were paying on the debt that we inherited. What to me who near the core financial services. What to me who near the energy. So it's a lot more transparent and obvious, and then you can see what the results are. It's very difficult. It's easy to pretend that in spending money on the human development of the human capital, it means nothing. But that really is the investment for the future.
Yeah, but no, they will tell you, say share, and again from the budget now, Oka Sika, we invest in free SHS so far, less than 2 billion Ghana cedis. That's out of debt no increment. We and no free more. It's really a drop in an ocean.
Now we share what we have done in the energy sector. Sebi, the energy it costs money to be able to do that. We continue if revenues are not moving as fast as they should. You need to supplement that, so you do that. Then of course the accumulated interest that you pay and your wages that you pay, and then you be and we won't borrow if we don't need it.
You don't need the money.
But at least all the numbers are there
for everybody to see
at any point.
But have we used this money in a way because yes, borrowing in itself no any bad, but the oldest cannot in our case this cannot neoma 10 years from the bit me say okay ade we are borrow the year a tria ne hoka ama echirima eho enkonkonko kire won. The refrain is say, oh, we borrow for consumption.
No consumption. I mean, the tray num na dia ben ye tua arrears on be jamayen and afide as ye tua we share some of the loans they even contracted at 10 or X%. We have to pay those. But what we are trying to do next year with regards to the whole reference and tax and revenue system is also to look at this 208 billion
208, the debt way.
And see whether we can restructure it in a way to reduce, the payments each month on the public purse. So it gives us a little bit more breathing room to do other things. But I really feel deeply that when you meet a crisis, there are certain things you have to do. And then you also invest in the future. And I think that is essentially what we've been able to do. It won't be perfect, really, but in the generality of it,
so we open and take you on, say, show practically. Neoma modisika bamun seminaya, you can prove that to them.
Oh, everything.
Na the other thing, next year, back to infrastructure. In the budget, the Honourable Member of Parliament for North Tong, Sami Okujeto Ablakwa, akase onu go through budget or share appendixes in there. One can't road be in the Volta region. The senior minister said it might be a mistake on Besai Ashe. What do you say? Then I'll cover Sadi and
you anope na mete na say na the honorable MP. That's the way the nyampa a little bit of a mischief because we share budget document one kasa.
Yes.
What to me who roads that you identify for Volta region.
In the document itself. That's the main one now, but they call
it's it.
And yet you kind,
Yeah. I mean 867, 865, whatever.
Okay.
Now because say warrior matrix no. You and there might have been a slip there. But right next to it no.
Okay.
What to me who you page 158.
Okay.
And then of the budget
Okay.
866, 867. It's quite. I was quite sad, because really for me, that there has to be an acknowledgement of where we are going as a country.
Okay.
So that there's a common base. But to take, little things and create, a whole lot of, in a sense, misinformation is not.
But I'm sure the Waha, now 867. Or Casa Mr. Speaker, some of the ongoing projects programmed for construction in 2020 include construction of Dufo Adidome to Esekuma Road project. And upgrading of Tatales, Abzugu, in Sawema, Pedra, Bolgatanga, Boko, and all of that.
Isn't there some Ho and...
Yeah, okay, there is dualization of the whole main roads and construction of the whole bypass. And also, but I think Onono share a page where you have done a breakdown of all the regions, any roads, and Hono and Volta region.
But it's all included. I mean, we can't do that, And go frame it would be some. I can say, because I think for me the sanctity of creating trust in the political infrastructure is good for both parties, and one has to be very cautious about eating away the faith and trust, in the system, because it's that system that we all have to work in. That's Sebi Ochon so bad, but if we don't create a sense of a common objective, and then maybe the little things on the margin, is what we fight about. Say to be a meko abruchia koye Eurobond sika na do London be a opposition for a year. The Friends and Press Conference.
London.
These idea sika koji way. So it puts the investors on the back foot. In the I'm negotiating 1% and Mama Kokonya 1.25%. But 1/4% no times 30 years.
Huge.
Huge. Idea.
Benya grow more as political players more over the years. No.
But the time fata. No, fata now to me who will be to Zana Kufuadne Jumo na. You have to sit back and say, hey, Obaka's half idea. Politics no. there's decency and there's a clarity of purpose for it. Into the way in which we go.
On the roads, the minimum say ebinum will be funded through Sino Hydro facility, and ebin so a government of Ghana and Casa Edie. What should be the assurance to me as a citizen? Say, because I'm running through budget from 2017. Some of the roads I capture in this year's budget. Not a woman. In there any assurance 2020? Mobile Quina Mai.
I started this year. I guess if anything else is an indication as to our sustaining it through the year. And I think it's now a packaged, transaction. Service I know Hydro and the APD assigned but Sika Yetimidiama roads and highways for government and also road funds and also, I think about 82% or more of all road contractors will be paid completely. And you can see that there's traction now. And then we've
they will be paid for what job done? Ejumo Maya Dada.
Ejumo also continue into that gives them some resources. Of course, it's never enough. But you have to start and you have to keep the engine going. And then start, and then we hope we just
keep that in 2020.
And it has to. But we didn't want to start in 2020. Wanted to start now so that really the momentum continues into the new year.
But no, the question will come say because most of these road projects na mobile na contractors also. Of course, new government are taking over. Mo decided say you would audit most of those contracts. That decision na you prudent because if you say baby ana contractors ni bia ye adwuma edu no mo halty acquiring nyina say it cost us now more to go back and fix those same roads. Now a prudent, especially now as we speak. Sa report ne cry on sa audit ne me public. Emma yen say na boni bi wa na boni bi e wa ha. We've now say contractors ne sign go back to site. Why?
I mean at least Auditor General audit some of our areas that nearly half of them, and that's billions of cedis, were not legitimate. So really, as a responsible government, there's no way you could have gone, especially as NIM, how contracts were also given and the value for money, questions that we had. So it's a price that one had to pay, but really to come back to realize about 6-7 billion was not legitimate, but because you were in a hurry, maybe it would cost us $1 billion more, I don't know, but that's really much better than the 6 or 7 billion that we may have had to pay. Enti na adie ejuma ye die enye se mfonsumba mu. But it's an honest mistakes are very different from whatever, and informed and with competence and really a clear passion to see our country where it should be. Is what drives us as far as I know. Into me share budget year and now for a for me, it is clear that we have had to clear a lot of the mess that we met from 2016. I think so. It's a macro stability here, as when say inflation has come down the lowest in the past few years. That means that food prices are also down. People can invest in a much better way. Lending rates are problematic in form as much as we want, and we need to
now inflation now above form and yes, what can for the past 27 years we're the lowest I recorded. And reflection on the micro, because then amount forecast the macro looks really good, and economists admitted to that. Say macro figures need good. The problem now the connection with the micro now man for be feeling you admit that meboa.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, no, because sebe inflation no higher. And no eat more of your money than whatever. And to pretend that it doesn't matter, no, is really being mischievous.
Yeah.
But truly, with our decision to tackle the financial sector issue, it creates a certain amount of contraction. No question about the system about it. And also begins to ask, how did you make your money and was it sustainable?
Yeah.
So I think there has to be a new culture and ethic as to how we get money in our pockets. That's so. But needless to say, yet Ministry of Finance we are looking at the issue of liquidity.
Okay.
How do we get these banks, which are now stronger than they used to be able to lend? We are working with a number of banks on microcredit, so that will be launched. And then we are also creating
universal banks, to give microcredit,
loans. But really working with one or two of them so that they can focus on it.
Okay.
Then we are also introducing something we call the enterprise credit scheme, which is going to push another 2 billion into the market. And maybe government can take a first loss, situation, i.e. to de-risk it, so that the banks can then lend at a much through that program. Specific sectors and entrepreneurs, have to participate in that. So then that begins to get sort of new money into the system to get people, because NIPA can say no money in my pocket, and yes, I want to share welfare. They want to be able to go to the bank, get resources to do their little business. That really is what the dignity is all about. And right now, our focus is more resources to the banks, and also at a rate that is affordable. First on agriculture, your friend of Gesell. Actually, banks, would lend in Agrica, who call Gesell, no one for part of the risk, so that your lending risk will be lower. And then you replicate with the enterprise credit scheme, and that would do that. And so people will then begin to be able to find means of. So on the micro level, we are tackling it. We do the enterprise credit scheme, and that will also tackle it. You look at GSL, and that's also tackling agribusiness. And then we are just, progressively moving to get. But I think the 3 years, if there used to be cheap money, everybody has resolved that. There's no dear call. And this is where we have to intervene.
While I'm more assurance for 4.6 million depositors said you're welcome in the budget, and they say when car, especially recent one, are SEC edit statement and by fund managers, investment houses. Sika ni guho ni sika ketu abechira manfo sika na guho. Omon sabesenya kan won sika bio.
So there are two aspects. Banks or financial system, when they go wrong, Argentina, US, or whatever, the state tries to come in. But the state can come in to a certain limit. Into that's what we do. Into because you start, you can 10,000 CDs or something. Because if you day train, they have upped it to 20,000 CDs. Into that,
Ubia 20,000
at least. Into share, almost about 95% of the people, the money were under 10,000, into 20,000 up. Then there are the big people who had a lot of money, and then some institutions that had. Into we are trying to see whether maybe churches, hospitals, and schools, once you can but the key thing in the end is for the receiver to be able to collect and then pay back, because truly, it is impossible, for government to pay everybody for everything, because there's also a bit of culpability in here. Sepa Christopher, because every month, 6 or 10% Now do sika kugu. And also yasem kakra. Inti
no,
government
for the regulated institutions, no. Na omo timi di omo tumi etre interest on betuyama
new another regulated
dividend on betuyama investors.
Yeah, that will be interest return on their interest. And some of them gave guarantee instruments which were not supposed to. There's also a big problem with the regulators as to exactly what these people were doing, giving licenses to so many companies that they could not regulate, and officials who might have also have been culpable in things they do. It has to be gradual, you know. You do 10,000 and after they are 20,000. So a few more people will do it. Now SEC, as a more to say one who's a Gold Coast for near day, into suddenly by SEC coming in, you know, so those Gold Coast people, no, can also begin to get some of their money, and it's really one step at a time, because okay, Jawa, senior, you take her after the banks are much stronger in what they are doing, you know, and it won't be there. But in any decision, there's certainly going to be some collateral damage of some sort, and then you try to ease it gradually within your capacity to do that.
Mostly, okay, when say I buy back out, now buying frontal with the issues, Emmanuel clear na a month for so etias here once and for a level from the wakache Mrs. here, not just say majority no ebe war receiver ne so say
the majority of individuals will get paid though.
Full amount,
yeah, no. Most of them are below 10 and 20,000. So majority of them will get paid. But you know, and then they receive a seminar because how much can government really do?
Yeah,
you know, and that's just the reality. And just will be this year, you know, truly, how much can government do? Into at least the average individual, you know, to a certain degree. I mean, we have, as a government, have to take responsibility for regulatory inaction, you know, and therefore move towards a prosecution. Okay.
Would that happen?
It should happen. It must happen.
Would it happen?
You know, and I think AG is now gone quite a long way now. I suspect it will be an accelerated process. But it's also a real signaling to us as a nation as to the discernment that we have. To say, Sebi, there was a gentleman who was a good friend of mine. And therefore you think, say, when you said data bank or when you have the Nisika Bako. I feel there, and then I saw catching so the Nisika Kobe. And say, the quality of work we do. Not just a greed near the I feel there. And people kind of know that at the Nanso, where the overcast say, you know. It is also important for us to begin to see that, you know, you make money slowly.
Musa, this final question as we end. In the budget, Otachi on the National Cathedral project. Reading through, say tendering processes never shall here to get a contractor for real work to begin next year. Amount involved, a buying commitment because you ante BBR, you can't say you be contract and no share you must say or share you must say at what cost? How much is that thing costing us?
I think your friends in Cathedral and you can't say you be seed money. India, no, I think we'll have to fulfill that. And
seed money of saying
it should be anywhere between maybe 10 and 20 million dollars
USD.
Okay. But you know, the things of God, dear, I am kakra because He can do it. You know, there's a solid trustee group. I think the CEO Paulo Pokumensa is also a man of integrity. There are various fundraising schemes that are being planned, and when you be seen, necessary and so you become,
And we are looking at 10 to 20 million dollars.
That's what I'm thinking of as seed money.
But in projects in our total cost, when all is said and done,
it's certainly over 100 million.
Over 100 million
US dollars. But it's a beautiful thing, and it's a memorial to God. To me, say, oh, man, kasi o dear may na yahwehwe 3 acres be. Na fe de you soon say young man. Ending.
Yeah, also the man for can say in a poor country, 20 million. No, your government commitment or the ship. Apart from that, assassin no value where the assassin.
Na asema okay. Na asema okay wa unsro. Se pass every 1957.
Yes.
Na fa ko nyame den abai. Na inshira odi amai. Na fe de asase ketwe bi de ma no. Or rather, young real estate agents, one could see. And me who are now, me who are Jeremy Kakra, because it's a Christian country, and he can do it. If we won't do it, even the stones will wake up and do it for you. But anyway,
my young family, successful private business person or transition into public service.
You.
It's the same.
Because we share 30 million people, and but it's an incredible blessing and opportunity, to be able to do that. But I'm sorry, I'm Paiboane said, Unyami, these are your people. I'm just a vessel, use me to do things effectively. Because me who free as budget to in carbon budget it is quite fulfilling, to be in public service.
And I mean himself for one active partisan politics and the rigors in your mind will not only very much used to obey Musisi a full-time public service or share some of the criticisms at your person. For example, the 2.25 billion bond opposition are targeting the Ken bond, meaning say what the issues even in the banking sector, the allegations say, oh, you were partisan and phobia of free so business is a cost saying what dear and our target you what is seminar. How do they come to you?
It's maintain news much, and my mantra really is yes when anymore wave to never honor and you be better. But really, okay, this you are not very partisan. I am family dear. Free nipa ka na me yam wanwa inti Juma started 207 and then street adopt a polling station na ya sikama party no. And maybe it's a very different style. But for somebody to think that one is not engaged, it's not good. But I thank you very much for this. But the Juma and Bibia, Odohma, Omano, Intina, Inti, Yebesum. Na ya yeni ye ama na nti obi ate hodia nyana na Akufo-Addo kano ono ana yetanechi
president your cousin, right?
But you
or your cousin
me papa nua baba
papa nua ba eba and a president.
But you
what this thing about nepotism say eyabusuamamu and obu
you ana nti sebe your friend saying Nano Ofori-Atta the first, and JB Danko and brother, and we share your friends saying in Kruma party no Krempa Ofori-Atta for P. And I think it's an issue of competence and and then favor. No, I don't have any regrets.
Honorable Yedase.
That's a for you. Never show my name. Thank you.
And that was the Finance Minister, Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, and Yatin, and kind of end there or very tight schedule, but utimi boa squeezy bibi kakra de MIA. And that's where we would end. Yebetwa so abejafo no betena se na afia de nkomo no nso atoa so ekosi sen so ni ewa Sempa 94.7 FM live from the office of the finance minister ewon krai ha. Good afternoon. Yes, I atoa so sisia.